Okay. Awesome. We are live. Welcome everyone to our second Google Hangout series. Today we'll be talking about fall leadership conferences. I am your Central Region Vice President, Ashton Filburn, and I have four lovely guests with me. Stefan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Shafan Darawala and I'm the Texas DECA State President. Good to see you all.
Good evening, everyone. I'm your Southern Region Vice President, Tyler McBee, and as a current resident of Texas, I'm really excited about talking about Power Trip, which will be in Austin this year.
And I am your Western Region Vice President, Marissa Mitchell, better than Mitch.
And I am Tara Knapp, and I am your North Atlantic Region Vice President.
Awesome. So we are really excited about our epic Google Hangout series right now. I'm going to go ahead and let Shafan talk about the DECA Power Trip.
Thanks, Ashton. So this year, we at Texas DECA are very excited to host all the chartered associations for the Power Trip, and we welcome you all to Austin. Now, while you all enjoy the content that we have prepared for you, there will also be many opportunities for entertainment outside of that. For example, the University of Texas at Austin provides tours for prospective applicants and allows people to sit in on their classes. So if any of y'all are interested in applying to the school, specifically the Macomb School of Business, that is a very great opportunity to see the student life and see what it all is about. And also, it's known to help your admissions chances a little by expressing interest, because that is something that the university likes to see. Now, outside of learning and school, there will be many opportunities for entertainment, such as, for example, the fact that Austin is the hipster capital of Texas, with several hotspots right next to where we will be conferencing. So with that, you'll have the opportunity to experience a lot of shopping that you wouldn't have anywhere else, along with a lot of food. Now, I've been to Austin before, and I can tell you that from cupcakes to gumbo, you're going to find any of that in a food truck, and it's going to be the best experience you've had culinary going against food. Now, finally, one of the coolest places, in my opinion, in Austin is the Barton Springs pool, where you can go tanning and swimming because the weather's always nice, and just relaxing with your officer team. And basically, it's a spring like Old Faithful, but it's a very nice place to go because it's nice and warm and it's not too intense. And also, right next to those springs is a Whataburger, and if you've never gone to Texas before, I encourage you all to take part in that Texas tradition because it's great. As a native Texan, I mean, I have nothing else to say besides it's awesome. And again, I'm excited to have you all come to Texas because I know it's going to be a great time for everybody, and for those seniors who are going to be tired of doing the college essays, it's going to be a great break from that. So once again, I can't wait to have you all, and welcome to Austin.
Thank you so much, Shafan. Unlike in Texas, we'll be hosting the Central Region Conference in Kansas City, Missouri, and the weather will be in the high 60s if we're lucky. So bring a jacket, and we also have a lot of great food options. I've heard that the Kansas City strip steaks put the New York strip steaks to shame, and it's also famous for barbecue. So we have a lot of food options as well. Now I'll let Tyler talk about leadership labs and competitive excellent experience.
Thank you, Ashton. And as Shafan hit on, there's so many things in Austin that I've not been able to experience yet. So being able to go back, even as a current resident of Texas, and being able to experience that is something that one of those once-in-a-lifetime type things. So real excited about that. There were two things about Power Trip that when I first attended my junior year and also this past year really were so transformative that it's not Power Trip and it's not Central Region Leadership Conference without these two things. The first being the Learning and Leadership Labs. So these are breakout sessions that focus on specific topics during each session. So these include college, career, chapter, and competitive events section. So if you attend the college series, you might be hearing from an admissions counselor at a university on preparing for college or choosing a major. In the career section of it, you may be hearing from marketing industry executives or leaders in the hospitality industry. If you're in the chapter sessions, then you'll be learning about using social media to increase your chapter's awareness and making sure that the awesome things that you're doing in your chapter are being known about throughout the world. And if you're in the competitive events session, then you're going to be hearing from judges from their perspective on how to rock that role play. When I was first joining as a DECA member, Power True was my first conference ever. So being able to attend these sessions and learn from judges, from industry leaders, from fellow DECA members, it really opened my eyes to the scope of what DECA does for students, and also prepared me for for a great year in DECA. But most importantly, I was able to take what I learned in those sessions back to my chapter. As a first-year chapter, we didn't have all of these resources that you may have with your experienced advisor or experienced officer team. But what I was able to do is, again, just take those leadership lessons back to my chapter, to my fellow members, and help them in their journey as DECA members. So the sessions can either be Q&A or they may be a presentation type format. But no matter what the format is, they're extremely easy to be able to take notes, follow along with, and again, take it back to your fellow chapter so that they can benefit as well. And then also, the competitive excellence experience is something that is really important to me. It is a mock role play that helps members get acquainted with how role plays are set up, what the format is like. Again, as a first-year member attending Power Trip, had absolutely no idea what a role play is, except for was such a foundational aspect of the experience. So being able to experience the role play, get acquainted with the format of it, and kind of understand how it works was really awesome, because I was able to learn about that when it wasn't in a competitive event, a competitive aspect. It wasn't an event where like you have your district and your state competition. It was just a practice, so I was able to kind of get that same experience, so that when it did come time for districts, I was prepared and was acquainted with how it works. So again, it's just like a regular role play. So after the conference, your advisor will receive your feedback, your score. So it's not only getting you acquainted with how role plays work in the format, but it's also showing you the skills that you need to brush up by the time districts do come around, so that you are best prepared and ready to be an epic competitor. So those are just two things that are really unique, both at Power Trip and Central Regional Leadership Conference, that I always look forward to as a member, and really looking forward to in Austin this year as well.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Like you said, we're going to have a lot of different learning experiences that you can exhibit in the Power Trip and at Central Region. And if you have any questions throughout this Hangout, you can tweet #DECA Hangout Series, and we'll be sure to answer them at the end. Now I'm going to let Mitch talk about guest speakers at Power Trip.
So initially I had no idea who either of the guest speakers were, but it turns out I've been living under a rock for the last few years, because they're both huge crazes across the nation. At our opening session, we're going to have Josh Shipp. If the name doesn't sound familiar, think for a second. You've probably heard his name mentioned on places like MTV, CNN, Fox, the New York Times, 2020, and Good Morning America. Josh Shipp, he used to be a foster care kid, and initially he was considered an at-risk child. It's amazing, though, because he managed to totally climb up the ladder, and now he's one of the 30 under 30 list, which means that he's published an amazing book, and he's known, as I said, as the Teen Whisperer. This is really cool, just because it's kind of something that I think all DECA students can relate to. When we say that we want to start a business, or that we want to go into marketing or hospitality, I think sometimes people kind of underestimate our abilities because they just see us as kids. But I think that Josh is going to give us a really unique perspective on how we can understand ourselves better and how adults can better understand our age group. At our closing session, we're going to have Mr. Johnny Cupcake himself. That's not really his name, it's a nickname, but he does own a business called Johnny Cupcake. Initially, I thought it was a bakery. Initially, I was a little disappointed to find out that it isn't a bakery and there's not really cupcakes. But I went online and I was checking out his website, and it turns out he actually has a really unique t-shirt company. And people are so loyal to his company that they're actually getting his logo of his company tattooed on their bodies. So I thought that was a little fun fact for you guys. But the reason I'm so excited about seeing Johnny is he's actually a multi-million-dollar business just based off of T-shirts. And, you know, it's like, well, what makes T-shirts so cool? I definitely suggest you look up Johnny Cupcake's T-shirts because they're pretty witty and unique, to say the least. And the reason I think he's going to be really inspirational for all of us DECA members is when he first started his business, he was actually selling T-shirts out of the back of a rusty old car at the age of 19. And everybody thought that his business was kind of a joke. No one took it seriously. You know, look a few years ahead, and now he's the epitome of an entrepreneur because he has an incredibly successful business. So there's not actually cupcakes, but I think we'll have lots of lessons to learn from Mr. Johnny Cupcake.
That is awesome, Mitch. I've actually heard from Josh Shipp at the Kentucky DECA State Conference, and he was amazing. So you all are in for a real treat. No pun intended with the cupcakes. For CRLC, we are having guest speakers Eddie Slakowski and Layman Hicks. I know that Tara has been able to experience Layman before. I have been able to experience both Eddie Slakowski and Layman Hicks at the Kentucky State Conferences. I don't know, I guess we just get good guest speakers. Eddie's performance is Energize Your Performance, and he has a 4-minute formula where you can discover your purpose, ignite your passion, do your best, and become the best vision of yourself. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Eddie again, and I'll let Tara hit on her experience with Layman Hicks.
Yeah, so Layman Hicks is probably one of the best motivational speakers that I've ever heard from, and he did just that for me. He really motivated me. He came in and he gave us initiatives to change our lives. He told us his story about how he came from hardships and now he's up here using those stories to motivate people. Just the way he speaks, you can learn so much public speaking from just listening to him speak. He's so talented, and I listened to his advice last year, and it actually changed my life for the better, and it's really amazing. So I'm so excited for all of you in Central Region that get to go and hear him. I really think that you can get a lot out of his presentation.
Thank you so much, Tara. Now that we've heard about all the great things that there is to do at this conference, let's let Tara talk about her personal experience.
Yep, okay, so Power Trip is definitely one of my favorite conferences, and last year I went, and it was absolutely amazing. So I was trying to prepare for what I wanted to talk about here because there's just so much that I loved, and I felt the need to narrow it down. So I picked these 3 things, which there's so much more than this, but so workshops. One of the nights, we have all of the different associations host workshops. So if you're an association officer, you get to host your very own workshop. So that's really cool because you get to put that together, you get to teach members, and that in itself is a pretty cool experience. On the other hand, if you aren't an association officer, you get to attend all of these different workshops. So there were some on different chapter fundraisers. So you could go and learn from chapters across your region, and then now this year we'll have North Atlantic, Southern, and Western regions. So learn what all of these chapters from across the country are doing. So I think that's really cool. There were some on member engagement, social media, creative marketing, competition prep, literally anything you can think of, these associations came up with. And it's really cool, and you get to learn, you get to meet the different association officers that are running. So you can go and meet your association officers, and if you are an association officer, it's a great way to really get in touch with your members. So that is definitely something to look forward to that happens at both the Power Trip and CRLC. So then the second thing that I really loved was the college, career, and company exhibits. Now these are a little bit different from what Tyler was talking about. Tyler was talking about how they would come and give presentations and things like that, where I really benefited from the exhibits. So there's exhibit time where in the big grand hallway place, there's all of these different companies that are our NAB partners and different companies that we are just associated with. And they're all there, and they have booths, and they tell us all about their companies. So you can go and you can get free samples, learn about their great products. There's different college booths. One of the things that I really benefited from that is I talked to somebody at a college that I wasn't 100% super interested in, but they actually had a contact at schools that I was interested in. And being a DECA member, I made such an impression on her that she made phone calls to help me get into colleges. So that's extremely beneficial. So definitely take advantage of those relationships you can make there. And then also there's different study abroad booths. There was one there last year that was cool, and definitely internship booths. So really you can take that information and use it to go have other experiences, which I think is really cool. But yeah, so that was really cool. Another thing with that is that if you go to all of these different booths, last year we had an incentive. So we got free KEDs for going to all the booths. So it was really just nice to be able to show your support for all of those different companies. And then number 3 is networking. So this year at Power Trip, at least, is unlike any other conference that we've had before, where we have all 3 regions, except for Central Region. Sorry, Ashton, we'll miss you. We'll all be in Texas, and it's a great place to network. It definitely helped me as an association officer connect with members, which was something that was really important to me. And then also, Tyler, I'm sure you had the experience when you were a member of being able to talk to all of the association officers and form those relationships, and people that are interested in running for either your association or for executive office. It's really a great place to meet people, form those relationships. I mean, some of the people I met at Power Trip I'm still friends with and I talk to on a regular basis. So it's just really great. Make sure you bring your business cards. Those are important. You'll go through a bunch of those, but it's a really fun experience, and I highly recommend everybody go to your respective regional conference.
Thank you so much, Tara. Now that we've heard a lot of great points about our conferences, we're going to take a few questions, and you can still tweet these in at #DECA Hangout Series. Our first one is directed at Chiffon. What is something that I can look forward to at Power Trip that you haven't already mentioned?
Well, that's a good question. One of the other activities that we have planned is the Booth and Blazers Party. So everybody in attendance will have the opportunity to network with a Texas-style theme, right? So there will be many Texas-style activities, and there will be an opportunity to go around and meet with new people that you haven't seen before. So that's one thing. That's one of the bigger things that we're looking forward to doing.
Okay, I'm incredibly jealous. If someone needs to buy cowboy boots and they don't already have them, is there a place near Austin that they can get some?
Another great question, because around Austin, around that area, is a boots shop called Allen's Boots, and this place is an Austin institution, and they specialize in having ornate cowboy boots. And unlike many stores or unlike many other places, they include the spur on the back of their boot. So that's something that makes it really authentic. They go the extra mile, and that's really a great place to go and get those boots that you want.
Okay, sorry. I just want my cowboy boots on and like my passion for Power Trip right now. Another other question. Ashton, are there any places that we can shop while we're in Houston? There is a club plaza in Kansas, which has legendary shopping, dining, and entertaining. So I'm sure we're going to have some time for that as well. Now, Nick, did you get a question?
Yeah, so somebody asked me, why should I go to Power Trip? Why is it beneficial? And how do I convince my advisor to go? I think the most important thing that you'll take away from Power Trip is definitely not just going to be the fact that you're going to network with people from all over the place. But I think the most important thing that we're going to see is that you're going to come out of Power Trip a much better leader. You're going to come out really informed. You're going to feel a lot more confident in selecting, colleges or, your career path. And overall, I mean, you can just never be too good of a leader. So this is going to be a great learning opportunity. As far as your advisor goes, you have to realize that while this is an opportunity for you to learn, this is also a great opportunity for your advisor to learn, because while you're busy working away at all of your different workshops and the learning labs, there's also a little bit of a learning lab itself offered to advisors. It's like a professional series, and basically it teaches them how they can be effective teachers and help you guys learn better. So across the board, everyone's going to be learning, and it's going to be a great experience for both you and your advisor. So just tell them to look at the registration kit, and they'll totally understand why it's necessary that you go to your conference.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mitch. And I can say the same for the Central Region Conference. I attended last year, and it was incredible. Definitely life-changing. Getting to network with people in your region, all the different states. And I would say it's definitely more of a learning experience than a competition experience like ICDC, whenever you'll get to see all of these states again. So I definitely encourage you all to still look at registration, beg your advisors to bring you along, and definitely look into that. I think that Tara, did you have a question tweeted in at you?
Yes, I did have one question from an underclassman. So they said that a lot of us have been talking about college and career preparation where freshmen and sophomores aren't necessarily looking at that right now. So why should underclassmen go? Well, a lot of the things we talked about aren't just college and career preparation, and having that strong base as an underclassman will put you way more far ahead than your peers that don't go. So learning about your college and your career options early in your high school career will put you really far ahead. So when you are an upperclassman, you have a little jump on everybody else. So you not only will you learn everything that's not centered around those topics, but you'll also have that little head start.
Awesome. Well, you guys, we've had a great Google Hangout series. I'm really sad that Missouri DECA wasn't able to make it because they are hosting a great conference for us at the Central Region, and I'm thanking them for all of their hard work that they've put into this. It's going to be awesome. You won't want to miss the Power Trip or the Central Region Conference. If you have any other questions, your executive officers, and I'm sure Chiffon, would be happy to answer them. Thank you guys so much, and I really hope that I see a lot of you at Central Region. Do y'all have anything left to say?
Just one more thing. If you guys have any questions and you feel a little shy about asking, or you just need something to show your advisor in order to convince them to take you to Power Trip or CRLC, don't forget to show them the registration kits. They are available online, and we've been retweeting the links to them like crazy. So it's going to be a huge resource for you and your advisor.
I have something real quick, Ashton. A great way as Mitch was saying, to convince your advisor on why Power Trip or why Central Region Leadership Conference is so important, look up hashtag DECA Power Trip on Twitter. There you're going to see all the tweets, all the pictures that were taken from last year's conference, so you can kind of see a little glimpse of what Power Trip is like, and the same for the Central Region Leadership Conference, hashtag DECA CRLC, which is a new hashtag this year, but again, just go back and get a glimpse of what it's going to be like, because it was a transformational conference for me, and I'm sure it will be for you.
We have 58 days until a Power Trip in CRLC. Time is flying by, and if you all want to stay up to date on social media and promote it along with us on our countdown, just use hashtag CRLC15 or hashtag DECA Power Trip. We really look forward to your all's tweets, and we'll see you soon. Bye!